Good morning. I hope this works. I'm setting up camp at my parents'. Oh yeah. Whatever. I'm probably gonna get close, honestly. Oh yeah, nice soft mat. So what I'm gonna do today, I'm just gonna stretch out my hips while we're at it. I'm not gonna foam roll because I don't have a foam roller here. I forgot to bring mine. So I think I'm just gonna lay and stretch. What I realized yesterday is my bone bruise is probably the biggest pain point for me right now. So I'm really trying to focus my energy on getting that better, which means staying off my knee as much as possible. So a lot of laying around, a lot of doing nothing, but that's really good for healing. I slept a lot last night to make up for the previous night, so feeling better for sure, but it's definitely pretty stiff. But again, I think because of the bone bruise, there's still a lot of swelling and a lot of limited range of motion. So I'm not really worried about anything else. I think the range of motion will come. I don't want to force it because I think that's just going to put more pressure on my bone bruise. So today we'll just lay back, relax, get a nice squishy mat, touching Mother Earth today. That's really nice. My backyard has a bunch of sand spurs. That's all it is back there. My parents have nice cushy grass, so we're gonna hang out outside today. At least I am. Yeah, so go ahead and lay down on your back, and we're just gonna relax today. Open up the hips. I'm really feeling pretty closed off. I drove down here. It's about like 2.5 hours, so got out a few times, but still sat for a really long time. So gonna work on opening up those hips. You can see me just fine. Hope you can hear me. Okay. Whew. Yeah. First things first, let's get connected. Let's take a couple deep breaths and then we'll start walking through some of the stretches. Okay? So I want you guys to focus on 3 seconds in, 3 second pause, 3 second out, 3 second pause. We're going to focus on expanding high to low, forward, back into the ground, and then side to side. So let's get 5 deep breaths like that. Count your own. I'm going to focus on me and count my own. So 5 deep breaths, 3, 3, 3, 3. Big inhale, expand. Exhale, nice and slow. Just really get connected with your body and see how everything's feeling this morning. And then 2 regular breaths. And then let's start by bringing both legs into the chest. So one thing I've missed doing a lot is being in child's pose. But this morning, this is what I was doing, and it felt similar enough to give me the same effect of just releasing my glutes, my low back, just allowing myself to kind of like be in a ball because sometimes that's really nice. It's just to sit in a little ball and release and relax. Give yourself a little hug. No, not the AC! Oh, it's gonna be so low. It's not that loud. Okay. And just relax in this position as much as you can. If you need to support, I'm using both of my arms underneath my knee so I can support it and let that leg relax, but still in a comfortable range of motion. So maybe if you need to put a pillow under there to help, that might be a good idea if you're still pretty limited in your range of motion. And if you can let your legs go like this and pull them in like that, do that. So just find what kind of level of support you need and use it. And then let's take 5 big deep breaths here. So again, focus on expanding. You don't have to do the 3-second tempo, but just really focus on bringing as much air in as you can on the inhale and expanding all through your hips and your shoulders, and your torso, everything in your torso, and then exhale and just relax into the stretch. So we'll do 5 big deep breaths here, and I'll come back to you when we're done. Okay, let's double that actually, because I just started getting relaxed into this position, so we'll go super slow today and just really focus on relaxing. Okay, so let's start to get right out here. Let's go a couple more deep breaths and just hang out in this position for a little while. Really let our bodies relax and melt into the ground so that our hips can kind of find an evenness. I've been noticing my hips are really out of whack, just because I've been walking and doing things, and that's just normal. But when we can give it a chance to kind of relax and recalibrate, then that's a good thing to do. So let us sit here for a little bit longer, really go in and relax. And if it's not comfortable for you, you can go ahead and put your feet on the ground and just be in that position, still laying down, and take some release off of your knee in this position. Go ahead and slowly come out of this position, especially I know for me, I've let my knee kind of relax into a new range of motion, which is really good, but sometimes it takes a long time to get out of that, so we'll go nice and slow and extend it up. Maybe that's our next stretch, so we'll send the uninjured leg out, because it hopefully moves nice and smooth, and then we'll take the injured leg up. We'll grab the back of the calf and kind of pull it in towards your body. Get a little hamstring stretch. If you have a strap, You can put it over your toes or a band or a t-shirt or a towel or whatever you want. Try to sit right here. And then if you can, try to push the knee with your quad, not your hand. And try to extend it to get straight. So you're really stretching out that hamstring. Take it around to the side and you move it back and forth a little bit. If you find one you really like to hang on to, just sit there and breathe. Maybe try pumping the ankle, help loosen it up, roll it around. Show your ankle some love because it's been doing a lot of work to try to protect your knee, so give it a little rest break. Maybe massage your calf a little bit. And then work your way down the back of your leg. Try to release some of that tension. Tell your body it's okay to relax. It's safe to relax. This is a safe position for your knee. Once you kind of feel like everything's taken care of, you can just hold it and breathe. And if this is as far as you can hold, do that. Slowly release that down however you want to. I might add a little bend in my knee, assist it with a little rubbing, and then drop it down. And we'll switch sides. So we'll lift that opposite leg up, so the uninjured leg is going to come up, and we'll do kind of the same thing because this leg has also been taking a beating for your other leg, you know, doing a lot of work moving you around, stabilizing you. So we'll give it some love too. Again, maybe rubbing the back of your calf if you can reach it, back of your hamstring, the back of your knee, maybe on the sides and the shin, swinging it around a little bit, whatever feels good to you. Don't forget that ankle, take it around town. Whenever you're ready, just fold it. Try to relax your shoulders. I know it's kind of hard in this position, but try to relax them down to the ground. The next thing we're going to do is a nice little twist. So we can start working into our upper body a little bit as well. So let's take whatever side you want. We're doing both sides. You can either bend the knee as much as you can, or keep it straight, whatever you want. Bring it up to the sky and let it fall to the side. So again, whatever's comfortable. If you want to bend the knee, you might feel it in a different part of your glute. If you straighten your leg, you might feel it down the side of your leg. So just kind of get in a comfortable position for you. Stretch what you want to stretch what you need to stretch. And then we'll take the same side arm. So the leg that's crossing the body, the same side arm is going to open out to the side. So we get a nice deep twist. Even if you want to turn your chin towards that side, go ahead and do so. For me, it's my right leg crossed, my right arm reaching, and then I'm turning my chin to the right. And again, we'll focus on big deep breaths here, expanding and lengthening as much as we possibly can. And then exhale, we relax into the stretch even more. So we'll sit here for a little bit, go ahead and get relaxed and get into your body and let it breathe and just melt into the ground. One thing I used to teach my athletes is every breath focus on a different part of your body. And you can kind of just go shoulders, breath, hips. And it's just about locking your shoulders into place or relaxing your shoulders. Take a big deep breath, and then same with your hips. Just check them. So make sure they're in the right place if you're doing an exercise, but if you're doing a stretch, that they're relaxed. So I just noticed that my shoulders were getting a little bit tense. So you just have to work your way, maybe focus on your face, relax, shoulders relax, belly relax, hips relax, legs relax, and then work your way back to the top. And just kind of go in a cycle. Start to kind of wiggle the fingers and toes, bring some movement back. Again, that knee may have gotten a little stiff on you, and that's okay. We'll start I use my hand to help me out of it a little bit, and then bring it back to the middle. And we'll come back to center with everything on the mat, laying down. We'll get a couple deep breaths here, kind of re-center everything before we go to the other side. Alright, we'll grab the uninjured leg. For me, it's my left. Take your left arm out to the side. Take your left leg across your body, or if you're on the other side, go ahead and do that other side. Ooh, yeah, getting some pops there. The other thing is I kind of notice my brain getting away from my body and going to conversations and to-dos for the day, and I just have to breathe in and gather it all, and then exhale and let it go and refocus on my body. So if you find that your mind is wandering, don't get frustrated. Just inhale and gather it, exhale, let it all go, and get back to your body. I'm rolling in, so I'll be fine though. The universe always waits on the people that are doing good. I believe that. Whew. Movement, toes and fingers. Hopefully this side doesn't take as long to get you back. And if it does, that's okay as well. Alright, go ahead and come up to sitting. We're going to do one more stretch and then wrap it up. Where are we at? Oh, perfect. What is that? 23? I love that. I love that. That feels really good. Yeah, sorry, I was trying to think of what I was going to tell you before the stretch. It's okay to make micro adjustments, and it's good to make micro adjustments. So sometimes when you sit in a position for a long time, things might become a little bit more uncomfortable because you're relaxing deeper into your stretch. And it's okay to make little adjustments to kind of like pull out of it a little bit, or to maybe move your shoulder down and you feel like that kind of helps release some of the twist. And you'll learn more and more what helps as you stretch and spend more time with your body. But yeah, sometimes it takes a little ant on me, trying to get them off before I squish them. Oh. Listen, you're just gonna have to learn. Sorry. Yeah, it's okay to make little micro adjustments. So sometimes moving your ankle will take something out of your back. It's the weirdest thing, but like I said, all the time, it's a chain. It's a chain. So it's just about learning little things about yourself and what helps and what doesn't. And it's going to be different for me than it is for you, probably, and maybe, you never know. So everybody's a little bit different. Well, yeah, so it's just a matter of learning your body. The next one, we're just going to do a seated hamstring stretch. So move your cheeks out to the side. Make sure you're sitting on your sit bones. If you need to bend your legs a little bit, that's totally fine, especially when you've got a knee injury. Whatever's comfortable, slide a pillow, slide a foam roller, whatever's going to make this more comfortable for you, do that. And then, again, making sure those hips are rolled forward as much as they can. Mine roll back just a little bit because my hamstrings are tight. And that's okay. It's just something to note and something to try to work on, okay? So I'm going to bend my knees just a little bit, and then take my arms up, stretch as tall as you possibly can, and squeeze up. And then we'll exhale into the folds. Again, just find a nice comfortable place. We'll probably sit here for a little bit. Wiggle back and forth, get comfy. You can shift a little side to side, maybe roll the ankles out, roll the ankles in, give them a little pump back and forth. Feel your body, just feel your body. Move things, maybe bend one knee a little bit more, straighten it out. Roll the hips forward, lead with the chest, maybe bend down. Just see how your body feels as you start to move things, and then do that for a little bit until you find a comfortable position and are ready to relax into the stretch. So, ready, break. Start bringing some movement back. Stay in the stretch, but check in with your body. I know I gained a good bit of more mobility as I was sitting in the stretch and relaxing, so just take note of that. See where you are. If you can reach your toes, put your fingers in between your toes. It actually feels really good. It stretches out your little feetsies. If you can't, add a little bend in your knee until you can get there. See how that changes your body, changes your position. Maybe rock back and forth. Open up to the right. See how that feels. Open up the side body. Maybe open up to the left. See how that feels. Woo! Oh yeah. And then slowly start to come up and wiggle a little bit. Oh yeah. Okay, I said that was the last one, but I kind of want to get flip over and open up the front side of the hips, and then maybe a little bit on the chest, but that'll be pretty quick. So let's slowly bend those knees again and get to rolling over. Keep checking the sky. Isn't it so lovely though? I don't know if you guys can hear the breeze in the trees and I think they're the cicadas that are chirping. Oh, actually this is really nice. Let's just go ahead and sit right here. If you can do this, let's do this. Okay, feel the stretch through the side of your body. If you can't feel it, think about lifting the chest and then sliding over and creating space in between your rib cage and your hips, and then kind of scrunching up and pushing those hips into the ground, and then continue to lift as tall as you can. Big deep breath. Exhale, and then let's switch sides. I'm going to switch sides so you guys can stay facing my front, but if you want to just roll over, just roll over. All right. Let's see if I can get in that position again. You may have to like wiggle around a little bit. Sometimes that's what I do to match the sides. Sometimes I get in a surprise stretch like that. I get in a surprise stretch and I'm like, ooh, that's kind of nice. And then I'm trying to go to do it on the other side and I'm like, okay, how did I do that? So this one I'm probably going to keep this knee bent because that was a similar position to how I made it weird the other day. So, all right, move this hand up in front a little bit, keep everything even, hip, hand, and then lift nice and tall. Oh yeah, there it is. So I see how I went from this to this, driving my shoulder blade into my pocket, lifting my chest, and then I definitely felt the stretch in here. So again, kind of push those hips into the ground, lift, chest forward, big deep breath. Exhale, nice powerful position of the chest, and then one more breath here. I kind of took care of my chest too, or my hips, but we'll go ahead and roll over on the stomach. Legs are missing me now. That's good. And then we'll push up. So whatever you can achieve, whether it's right here, I can't shoot you down. Okay, I'm rotating for you. I'm rotating. I think we're almost done. Okay. So whether it's here, here, or here, just do what you can. Make sure you're protecting that low back. So I'll probably just hang out here today. A little bend in my elbows. Again, dropping those shoulders, lifting the chest as much as you possibly can. So this is as much about your upper back as it is about your front of your hips, your lower back. Keep big, proud chest, big deep breath. Squeeze the booty cheeks. That feels good sometimes if I'm like squeezing all the way up my back, all the way from my butt, all the way up. Feels really good. And then just wiggle it down. And then come out of it however you want. I always like to wiggle a little bit just to, again, get things recalibrated. So sometimes when we're sitting in a stretch, we can get a little stiff, and that's okay. You just bring movement back slowly but surely. All right, I hope everybody's feeling good. I definitely feel a little bit better. And that was nice and easy, good, relaxing, which is really what I needed. So the more you can rest and relax the things around your knee, the better you're gonna feel. And I think the point I wanna make out of this moment is something that I said earlier and something that has really become something for me in the past couple months, probably more seriously, but it's something I've been working on for a little while now and has definitely changed how I live and helped me move through a lot of anxiety and overthinking. So when I find myself lost in my thoughts and getting anxious or overwhelmed or depressed or whatever feelings that I have towards the thoughts that I'm getting lost in, I always remind myself to come back to the moment. So you pause, you recognize that you are outside of this moment. The best place to live is in this moment. When you get ahead of yourself, you start to get anxiety, and when you get behind yourself, you start to get depression. and like when you're thinking about the past and the future. And it's okay to do those things because you have to be self-reflective, but there's a certain point where it becomes detrimental to you, and you have to plan ahead and you have to dream about your future, but there's a point where it becomes overwhelming, because you realize the distance between where you want to be and where you are now. But that's okay. It's important to have these goals that are in front of you, or else you never stop, or you stop moving forward. So, but again, those things, when they take up too much space in the moment, then they start to detract from where we are, and where we are is the most important place to be. So when you find yourself getting lost in your thoughts one way or another, outside, inside, doesn't matter, recognize it and say, I'm glad I spent the time reflecting, or I'm glad I spent the time planning. It's now no longer beneficial. We're going to inhale and gather those thoughts, exhale, send them out, and then we're going to come back to the present moment and focus on whatever we're doing, whether it's a task that we're doing or if we're sitting and resting, to be there. And one thing that helps me a lot, that actually I learned probably almost 6 years ago at this point, that I didn't really understand the effectiveness of it until I started realizing the importance of coming back to the moment when I get lost in my thoughts. But it's using your 5 senses to come back to the moment. So look around you. What do you see? I see this beautiful, luscious green grass. I see tons of clouds in the sky getting ready to storm. I see my mom's tomato plant over here growing cute little green tomatoes. And to go through and name 5 things that you see. And then 4 things I think that you can feel, because I think that makes the most sense. So I feel the grass underneath my foot. I feel the stretch of my pinky. I feel my butt on the ground. And I feel the winds on my skin, which feels really nice. And you can do this really slow. The slower you do it, the probably the better. And then 3, let's see. What would that be? We got taste, we got smell, hear. 3 things you can hear. So I hear the wind of the trees, in the trees. I hear the cicadas. And I hear the sound of my own voice. And that's a beautiful thing. And then 2 things, these ones are kind of tough. 2 things you can smell or taste, and then 1 thing you can smell or taste. I don't remember which order it goes in, and sometimes I kind of switch up which one to choose. So I'm like, can I taste anything? I'm like, no, I just brush my teeth. So I don't taste peppermint tea because I've been here for 30 minutes, but I don't really taste anything else, not my breakfast. So it's kind of a taste in my own mouth, I guess. Or maybe you can, if you're drinking something, drink it and see what you taste from the drink, or eat something and see what you taste from the thing you ate. And then smell. Right now I smell the coconut of my deodorant. And honestly, just kind of outside. It smells like outside, which is not really a definitive scent, but that's what I smell. So yeah, that's something that I like to do and it brings you joy because you start to notice the things around you, and I think it's really beautiful that I love my parents' backyard. This is such a cute little backyard, and their neighborhood is so cool. And so you start to appreciate the things around you, and that's really important. And it brings you back to the moment and helps you realize how much joy you have around you in this moment. So it's good to reflect and it's good to plan, but the more you can exist in this moment and be grateful for what's going on and just be here with your body. At the very end of the day, you don't have to look around to find things that are beautiful and that bring you joy. You can look at your body and say, wow, it's incredible that I'm breathing. It's incredible that my muscles move my body and that my bones keep my body rigid and my head stays straight up and down. It doesn't flop over. Those things are really actually pretty impressive. The more you can appreciate about your body, the more joy you're going to find in just existing in yourself. So all that being said, that is your practice for the day, is to come back to the moment. When you start getting lost in your thoughts or getting lost in the things outside of you, come back, breathe in your body, notice what's going on. And sometimes even that's a good indication that your knee needs rest. You may be running around and doing a bunch of things, and then all of a sudden you're like, wow, I'm in chaos mode, I need to come back to my body. Oh wow, I need to sit down, my knee needs ice, or whatever it may be. So Have a lovely day. I will see you tomorrow. I'm hoping to have a special surprise tomorrow, but I'm not going to give too much of it away because we may be right back here. But yeah, I love you guys. I'm excited to see how much we're growing together and how our recovery goes. Peace.